Hello once again, my friends, and I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas season. I'd like to welcome you to another video. This is, of course, going to be about Star Trek and Christmas. I actually want to acknowledge a gift that I had gotten from a good friend of mine. His name is Artie, and Artie, thank you so much for this gift. This is like one of the perfect Star Trek fan type gifts, and especially if you're a modeler. So my friends, let's go over to the desk where there's more room and there's more light, and I'll show you guys the little gift from my good friend Artie. Okay, let's take a closer look now. And the gift is the StarFleet Assembly Manuals by Paul M. Newitt. And you can see we have the Starfleet Academy Assembly Manual 1. And that will be for the USS Enterprise. You can see it on the cover, and it looks like the shuttlecraft on the side. And then Starfleet Assembly Manual number 2, and it looks like we have the D7 Klingon Alien Battle Cruiser. And then finally we have the Starfleet Assembly Manual 3, and again we have what looks like the USS Enterprise NCC 1701. Looks like the production version. And it looks like an asteroid, I'm not sure. Is that a shuttlecraft? No. No, that could just be an asteroid or a planet. Anyway, this is the Ultimate Modeling Edition. Starfleet Assembly Manuals, and again, I love it. Thank you so much, Artie. Looking at the back cover, you can see what color is the Enterprise, and check it out. I hope the camera does it justice. And this is actually a model. You can tell this is the AMT model kit. The books that started it all. Scale modeling with electronics, lights, and special effects. Updated from the original 1977-1978 editions with the actual color of the Enterprise and much more. So, I love this. This is going to be a wealth of knowledge. This is, by the way, this is going to have its own video. So I just want to kind of briefly scratch the surface of this awesome gift, just to kind of acknowledge it as a gift. But believe me, this is going to have its own video. So we got Star Trek Assembly Manuals, the Ultimate Modeling Edition by Paul M. Newitt. Alright. Open it up. We have the lovely model kit from just about all of our childhoods. Every time I see this kit, I just go right back to my childhood and my love of this ship. You can tell that's the AMT model by looking at B and C decks. Love it. A kit that I never get tired of. And let's take a look at the contents. We have the forward, we have the introduction, SFAM1, SFAM2, SFAM3, and the appendices. And you have the forward. Let me see, here's the introduction. I'm just going to read a couple of lines. Like I said, this is going to have its own video. To the Star Trek maker, enthusiast, and collector, it's been some 27 years since I wrote the first Starfleet Assembly Manual, and I am still awestruck by its continued popularity and interest. A new genre of scale model making was created when this book came out in 1977. I don't know, man. I tend to disagree with this. I think it started in 1966 with the Starship Enterprise model kit from AMT, but that's just my opinion. Except for the special effects industry in Hollywood, no one had retrofitted any of the Star Trek model kits with electronics and fiber optics, and no one had presented those techniques and materials in book form. He must be meaning other than, because the original release of the Enterprise from AMT came with the lights, as did the long box edition. This was new territory and has since spawned a whole new type of FX model making. SFAM-1 was the beginning. SFAM-2 introduced the battle damage, and SFAM-3 continued from the first book to create awesome starships in miniature. Accessory resin casting, electronics, and countless articles and web pages have arisen from these books during the past quarter century. And again, I'm not going to read everything to you. We'll go over it in more detail. Like I said, this book is going to get its own video. You'll see some awesome depictions. Illustration of the Enterprise. You can see the bridge, B and C decks. Tracy and is the primary designer of the NX-01. Diagrams of the 11-foot studio model by Alan Everhart, CAP-0406. It's getting never tired of looking at her. You can see the bottom view, front and the back. So Starfleet Assembly Manual 1. Assembly procedure for heavy cruiser starships. And I love the decks. That's amazing. I'd love to attempt that someday. Written and photographed by Paul Matthew Newitt. And this is the original one. You can see the reference listing, title and release, the introduction, reference listing, letter Starfleet Division, 20th Century Terran, San Francisco Yards General Description, San Francisco Yards General Description again, and pre-assembly Primer 1, 2, and 3, Assembly Procedure HC1, Photo Supplement, Assembly Procedure, and Photo Supplement. Continues to alternate pages. Let's take a look in this one. Starfleet Division. Starfleet Division, under Directive 7R from Starfleet Command, has released the enclosed information as you requested. Old calendar date November 15th, 1976. This information has been declassified by the Federation and must be translated into acceptable comprehension levels for civilians of your time period. This release of information has been a joint effort from the engineering microfiles of San Francisco Yards and reference text SFAT 44922 and SFAT MN18 from Starfleet Academy Terran Base SR-34. Most of your requests were regarded as classified, and released to your time period will only result in a possible change in history. Therefore, it is not possible at this time to respond to your many requests referring to the Galaxy, the Class 1 heavy cruisers. However, the information that has been provided should answer most questions civilians in your time period have. 3. It is not the policy of Starfleet Division nor Starfleet Command to release any such information. However, an exception has been made in this case. Our planetary agents from your time period have informed us that the assembly by plastic reconstruction of our heavy cruiser starships, Class 1, Mark 5, or Mark 4, have been too difficult and grossly inaccurate for civilians. It is the intent of SFD to keep an eye on the progress and course of our past, especially the assembly for our starships. Therefore, we have provided information to hopefully correct these problems. It is the responsibility of you, more civilian of 20th century Earth, to reinterpret what we provided. Specific guidelines of presentation have been included. Your booklet shall be referred to as Starfleet Assembly Manual 1. Assembly Procedure for Heavy Cruiser Starships, APHC-1. PMN will be the official classification of the official 20th century version. You will follow these guidelines. It is imperative that you keep communication to a minimum. Your Air Force, USAF, has been inadvertently receiving our subspace communications. Until we can correct the problem, you should consider yourself acting as an independent agent. As they said in your time period, good luck. Peace to our past. Chief of Operations, SFD, San Francisco Yards, end of communication. So that's pretty cool. They have another one that we'll go into more later in the video. San Francisco Yards. It shows you the map. Tools and material: the emery board, single edge razor, sandpaper, paintbrush with a fine tip, tube of Tester's plastic cement, masking tape, tweezers. Then we have the optional X-Acto knife, the blades, the testers, paint on plastic cement, crazy glue. Crazy glue should only be used with adult supervision, paintbrush, bottle champ decal set, micro scale, micro mask, and the roll graphic tape, lacquer spray, and dry transfer lettering. So this is going to go over the paint, the testers. It's got the paint color and then the testers reference. The flat red, flat black, the gray, the blue gray, yellow, flat blue, flat sky blue, silver, gray, flat white, and dull coat matte spray. Translucent colors. The beginning: after opening the box, you would discover a plastic bag filled with plastic parts. So, look at that beautiful kit we've all come to love. And let's see, this could be the long box version. It's hard to say because I can't see the insides of the secondary hull. If there are bulkheads in there, it was the first 1966 release. If it doesn't have that, then this was the first long box issue. And you can see we're taking them off the sprues. Group 1, the primary hull, Saucer Edition. Group 2, the secondary hull. And Group 3, the nacelles. I like how they break that up. The first parts to begin cementing are the nacelles. And it goes into how to glue the nacelles. And talks about alignment. Secondary hull. So yeah, now that we see the inside of the secondary hull, this is actually the long box, first long box edition, I'm going to think. Definitely not the first release, the first molding. You can see the bottom, keeping it all together, gluing it in place. You can see the back where the shuttle bay area is. And that's great. I love that. I would absolutely love to do this model kit, to make it with the decks where you can see like a cutaway view. That would be really fun. And in the back, you can see half of the nacelle is cut away so you can look inside. You can see where you're sanding down the seams. And again, I'm not going to go through this page by page. I just want to show you like a general description. We'll do just the first book, the one from the 70s. And some of these techniques are really cool. Getting it even. Mine always came out horrible when I was younger. It was never straight. You can see the deflector dish. the assembly tools needed, the end cap of the nacelles, the Bussard collector, power unit shield. Look at that, she's starting to take shape. Beautiful. Never get tired of seeing her. Never get tired of seeing this model. You can see the chiller grills. Color for the Starship, but prefer to leave it white. You may want to paint the screens in front and the ends of the nacelles. Yeah, we all do that. You can see the flat black in the back, the steel, the white. And that's a mistake I always made, because I always put it the same color as the sides of the end caps. You can see where they're putting on the decals. Look at that, beautiful. And showing a base. So the painting schematic for the heavy cruiser Starships, drawn by Mark Finley, SD 7703.13 is a star date. You can see the different colors, and the reference is that. Absolutely beautiful. That's another thing I never did before. I never thought to color in the middle of the coolers. And that's basically it for book 1. Going on to book 2, you can see we're going into the Klingon D7 battle cruiser and the other different things, the Corvette, the Klingon Corvette. And we have different references. You can see that model kit. And this isn't the first release. The first release actually had the planet that looks like Saturn on it. And incidentally, they're releasing that kit. Round 2 that's coming out in the next month or so. And you can see the nacelles and the impulse decks and the bulbous section at the front where the bridge is. And you can see the top with the different pieces, and that would be in green, translucent green plastic. See, when it comes to the antenna, we had done this. I had the 1968 original release, and that's in my introduction. With my intro videos, it's right next to the Enterprise, but I actually sanded this down, because when I looked at at least the screenshots off the original series, I couldn't see that the lip coming out like that. So I sanded mine smooth because I thought it looked better like that. You can see the Klingon D7. And then, let me see, just briefly go into the end. So this is book 3. And I'm sure at this point, this must be the round 2. Or the Polar Lights, the AMT reissue from round 2. Heavy Cruiser Class 1. Painting schematic. You can see the intercooler pods, sensor dish, and it shows all the numbers. That's going to correspond with the colors of the paint. So this book really has a lot of information, even how to put the lighting system in. And you can see the studio models. That's the beautiful Smithsonian model that was used to film the original series. So this is basically going to be like a wealth of information. This is I love it. You can see the best, bringing you best. You can see the Starfleet Federation logo, and it's got the advertisement for JT Graphics on the back cover. Let me show you guys, because there was a note that came with it. So Merry Christmas to you and your family. So glad we're brothers. Hope you enjoy the book from Artie. And Artie, I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much, my brother. My friend, I value our friendship. I value our conversations, our talks about Star Trek and Space 1999, Battlestar Galactica, Dark Shadows. And my friend, I just wanted to make this quick little video to acknowledge you. And thank you so much. I am going to be doing a video devoted to this book. So this is going to be pretty fun. So watch for that, my friends. And until my next video, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll talk to you guys soon.